Hello, this is David and I'm from Excel Consulting, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up cells that are colored based on the criteria here. So for example, in this column, if I want any number over the number 300, I can type in 300 and all the ones over 300 are in red. In this one, if there's text that contains whatever I type here, let's say I type Paul, let's say I type David, let's say I type should, whatever it is, it just looks whether this cell contains that word. Here, it is about dates. So any date after this date is in blue. So if I go 1st of Jan 2017, then it works like this. So how are we going to do this? Let's start off with numbers. So select them and go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules greater than. And instead of typing a number here, we're going to click on this little button here. And this means we can link it to a cell, and we're going to link it to this anchor cell, which we've set up here. It doesn't have to be in the same column or the same row. It could be absolutely anywhere. But in this case, I've done it here, so it makes sense. So there, that means that it's red, and now it's linked. So if this becomes 700, it only selects the ones like that. Next one, text. Pretty simple as well. I have a couple of other videos about conditional formatting. So if you've never used the tool before, I highly advise using it. It allows your cells to look differently based on what's in them, a little bit like this. So there's all sorts of things that you can do with it. This linking cell to an anchor cell, linking the formatting to an anchor cell is a little bit more advanced, but there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. It's not too difficult, as you can see. So select the data with text, go to highlight cell rules, text that contains. This is always the one you want to use with text, and it is by far the most useful conditional formatting there is. So format cells that contain the text, click on there, press enter, and now if I type in David, it links to David, Paul, it links to Paul, etc., etc. What you probably noticed is that if I leave it blank, it does select all of them. Unfortunately, that is, a bit of an annoyance with what happens with this data. So what you want to do is you might want to edit it slightly. So you want to add a new rule. You want to do conditional formatting and go to new rule. And you want to say use a formula. So this is why I say it gets a little bit more complicated. And you write here equals, then you click on the anchor cell, and then you say equals speech marks, speech marks. That means if this is blank, then we have this formatting happening. We want no format set, so that's what we want, so we press OK. But what we want to do is we want to go to conditional formatting and manage rules, the last step, and then here we want to click stop if true. Because that means if this is blank, it's not going to then evaluate the second rule. If it's not blank, it's going to evaluate the second rule. So by default, it's like that. But once we put whatever in here, the ID, then it works. So that is the more elaborate way to do it. Let's do the dates. And before I do the dates, I need to show you a certain trick. And I'll show you then an advanced trick with the dates. So I'm going to do a new column that is equal to these dates here. And what happens is that it expands automatically, and that is because I have this thing called a super table, insert table. I have another few videos that recommend using that. If you've never used it before, I highly advise learning it. But what you have noticed as well is that although these cells are equal to the other cell, it is actually showing me as a number. And what I can do with that, I can prove that by going to the Home tab and changing from that to say short date, like that. So they are actually the same date, but they look differently. And that's because Excel stores a date as a number, unless you've typed in the date as a text value. And I'll show you what the problem is in a little bit. But it stores it as a number, which means that you can use the same logic here. So let's go back to formatting this as a number. So if I say that I want this to be over 4,000, watch what I can do. I can select this, I can go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, greater than, and then I can do here, click there, and then if I type in the number 43,000, then it will show me the ones that are greater than 43,000, like that. But if I select these and convert them into dates, then it's now linked to a date. So if I do 1st Jan 2017, it's showing me all the values that are after 1st of January 2017. So it's more or less the same way. Let's give this another column name, so date again. And now I'm going to put how to highlight cells, and I'm going to do that to this column. Highlight cells that are after 1 week from now. So this is I'm gonna in here write a formula, and the formula is going to be equals today plus 7. So this is showing me the date. That's 7 days after today, 29th of the 7th, and today is 22nd of the 7th. So it's dynamic, it's through a formula, so it's always going to show me 1 month after today. And if I click on these and I go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, greater than, and then choose this cell here, I'm going to choose another format. I can go to custom format, choose black font and say this orange color like that, and press OK. And now it shows me anything after this date. I haven't got any dates in there, but if I make that one like that, then it shows them to me, the ones that are after 1 week from now. So yeah, that's it for this video. And as I said, I will put links to what I call super tables, or this insert table feature, and also links to the other conditional formatting videos. Thanks for